this video, I want to show you how I scout and find good locations for big mature mountain bucks. I feel like you should scout just as much, or if not more, than you hunt. My favorite times of year to scout is winter and spring. I try and find where mature bucks bed right after the season ends, and I also enjoy shed hunting in the spring. I found some great spots while shed hunting. I also do a lot of summer scouting as well. I try and find historical deer sign in the summer, and when I find historical rubs in an area, I typically find fresh rubs there the following fall. I enjoy glassing food plots during the summer months to observe deer and see what kind of bucks are in the area as well. The types of terrain I've had the most success in is definitely funnels, flats, and shelves.
Gaps can also be productive areas to hunt in the mountains, but one place I usually try and avoid is right directly on the tops of ridges. I have never seen a mature mountain buck use the top of a ridge. I'm sure they cross them, you know, I know they do that, but they usually don't walk directly in the middle of them. Mature deer in the mountains usually like to walk right on the sides of the mountains. Typically before I go scout a new area, I like to do some e-scouting. I go on Google Earth and I look up terrain features in the area I'm going to go scout. I like to look for funnels, benches on the side of ridges, and flats. But a lot of those places, you know, sometimes there may not be any deer in them, so that's why I really like to have boots on the ground going and looking at these areas, because I could look at some places on Google Earth that may look perfect to me, but there may just not be any deer in them.
Here's a spot that I like to hunt that has been very productive for many years. The thick cover above where it says stand is where most deer come from. I usually see a lot of does come from that cover and go to the bedding area on the other side of the finger ridge from 9 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. During the rut, I've seen bucks walk those trails from the break of daylight until 2 p.m. I've also seen bucks come from the bottom left-hand corner of the page that shows the funnel coming from a different bedding area. Almost every buck I see in that spot, regardless of where it comes from, it's always going towards the bedding area on the other side of the finger ridge. This spot is fairly open, but there's some thick cover around me, and I like to find spots that have thick cover close by because I feel like that makes mature bucks more comfortable because they know they have a way to escape. I typically don't see any deer in areas that are wide open with no thick cover close by. When I'm hunting for deer, I try and avoid areas that have a lot of bears, coyotes, or wild hogs. Deer will usually avoid areas that predators use in the mountains. If I harvest a buck in a good area and I plan on coming back because I have another tag, I drag the deer to a different area before I field dress it, because if I don't, it will attract predators and that can ruin a good spot.
I like to use trail cameras, but my only thing is these mountain deer are really skittish about them. I like to hang my cameras on scrapes, but I've noticed that some of them will see that camera and still spook. I've had a few of them been okay with it, but I've had a lot of them that will even be all just rut crazy and be kicking out a scrape, and they'll even look at the camera. They'll just take a few seconds to look at it, and here are a few examples of that. I don't ever put trail cameras where a big buck beds. I always put it on trails or scrapes. Just from them getting really spooky seeing them on scrapes, I try to hide my cameras as much as I can, but they're really smart and they're skittish. They know when something's wrong. Some locations I hunt, I have to be really patient with. I've even got a spot that I only harvest a good buck in every 3 to 4 years. But it's usually consistent. About every 3 to 4 years I harvest a good buck in it. Even running cameras and everything, there'll be 1 or 2 years I just won't have anything good on camera, and then the next season will roll by and then there'll be a big one on it. So sometimes you just have to be patient. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll be doing part 3 here soon. I'll be focusing on mature buck bedding areas in the mountains. check out my guide service page, Adam's Appalachian Adventures. I'll take you out and show you all that I know about mountain bucks and how to hunt black bears and wild hogs here in the Northeast Georgia mountains. And thank you for watching.